This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Right now, in the studio, literal royalty here in Perth.
There is very few times in the world where you can slow clap, and this is it, everybody. They are in the building. They have done the work.
Years reading the news side by side from Channel 7, the incredible Rick Arden and Susanna Carr.
Good morning and welcome to Nova.
Back.
Rick and Sue.
You are, you don't even need your last names. You guys are like Madonna.
Yeah.
Like, you are one name required
Now,
only.
let's get right to the branding. Was there ever a discussion about Sue and Rick?
Or Rick and
Yeah, I
Sue.
think we're known both ways.
For me, it's a Rick and Sue. But probably because I watch Rick and Morty. You're Morty. So, but was there ever, branding-wise, you think, do you ever, say Sue first to get a headline?
Yeah, she does.
I think with our with the news it alternates, so
Yeah.
there's fairness somewhere.
And I was watching Anchorman, right? And I was watching when suddenly there was a female anchor.
The documentary.
Put with the male anchor. So you were doing the news, and then Sue was brought in. Yes, as a female anchor, and it was huge at the time for this to happen because it wasn't the norm. How was that? Was it Anchorman-ish? Was it like, a woman can't do the news?
No,
was it
not
like
at
that
all.
at the time?
Of course not. My name's not Will Ferrell.
No, not you. The rumblings around the place was like,
No, not at all. Sue was already established on the
I know.
ABC,
Yeah.
so we welcomed her with open arms.
Yeah, Anchor woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anchor woman.
Veronica Corningstone over there. Look at her go.
Yeah. So you were 19, Rick.
Not there.
When I started, when
you
Sue
started,
came
yes.
along, I was 26.
Yeah. That is a very young age, and both of
And have
you
you
could
seen
be
the
the
pictures
anchors.
of him?
Yeah, I have.
He
Yeah.
looked about 11.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah. But you had a man voice. You know those guys. You know those kids that come into their adult voice too early, and they're like an 11-year-old, and it sounds like you're speaking to an accountant. When did your man voice set in? What age?
Well, funnily enough, I was in year 12 at school and I was a late bloomer. And so
yes.
at school I still had a squeaky voice.
Yeah.
But by the time I matured, I started work at the West. And when I came on TV 2 years later, here's my schoolmates thinking,
Hang on, who's
bloody
that
hell,
guy?
everything from that voice has gone a bit deeper.
I know.
That's amazing, really, for it to happen so dramatically.
We
and
hear about
late.
people's balls dropping, but not into
Yes.
the cellar.
That's amazing. So literally you left school, started work at the West, and then immediately just went on TV? Like,
No,
how did
I've
that
been there
happen?
for 18 months as a
No,
journalist.
but that is immediately, really, in television terms.
Well, I
these
guess over the
days.
course of 40 years it's immediately, but
Yeah.
it wasn't at the time. So I was very lucky. I cut my teeth in terms of the facts and reporting and
So
journalism.
it wouldn't
at the
happen
West.
now.
No.
You're not going to see a 19-year-old delivering the news.
MTV News or
Are
something
you?
like that.
Maybe, yeah.
So how old were you when you started the ABC? You were pretty young too.
22.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Babies.
Yeah, I know. We were children.
So the ages of being an anchor you were your first year being an anchor?
Well, 19.
Yeah, and you were in your 20s.
On
yes?
television?
Yeah, on television.
Probably
Anchor
about
news.
24.
Yeah. That is like that is the face of the station. You know what I mean? And not just that, for news, that is the most that is where people trust you. And yet you're at that's clubbing age.
That's us and Fat Cat.
Were you guys out? Were you out just like having a normal life of those?
Totally. I
Yeah,
went to
absolutely.
university.
Really?
So, university is a normal life.
So people will be out at a nightclub having a drink and having a dance, and then there's the news anchors from Channel 7
Yeah.
out
We're
there
on the
too.
dance floor bopping
Yeah,
away.
well,
That was
they
it.
finish work at about 7:30. Just keep straight on. That's how it works.
Oh, you know, when I first started work, we only got 4 days off every 3 weeks, and the news reading shift. The news reading shift started at 3 in the afternoon. You
Yes.
do radio bulletins, then you do the main bulletin, then you go upstairs and read all the radio bulletins, then you do a classical music program from midnight till 1 o'clock in the morning.
What? Serious?
That was my life at the ABC.
Why isn't Channel 7 making you do that now?
And was it because I've mucked around with one before and it was really hard to do. Was it reels? Was it the feeding the reels in, or was it tapes? Where were we? What era
It
were
was
we in?
film.
Film.
Spliced.
Splicing.
Flown in from overseas. News was always like yesterday's news.
Yes.
It wasn't today's news, whereas now it's like...
Has that
moment.
changed?
That
The moment it's
24-hour
happening.
news
Yeah.
cycle is full on, isn't it?
We've seen it during our time
Yeah.
here. So we used to be able, when we started here, by the way, we got regular faxes. That was hilarious.
Yes.
We actually had a competition where listeners would fax in photos. Anyway, but when we started here, you could hold on to the same story for about a week. and it still be relevant and fresh. Now that can change within an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Of what-
2 days. You wouldn't do a story that's from 2 days ago for us.
No.
Like,
No,
you just-
because people have seen it online. They're,
So
they're
many
more
places.
up to date. They need to be up to
Yeah,
date.
and the
So-
proliferation of cameras, even phone cameras, you get
Yes.
news instantly from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, so when we started here, right, it was very opulent. Not of the time when Gary Roberts, who started, started Nova here, of his time when he was doing radio, it was crazy. But then we got on the back end, didn't we? That we were still getting flown to Broome to be shown
By Channel 7, actually.
to be shown a 15-minute clip, and we're there for the whole weekend,
Yeah, great.
and putting it on. We'd get sent karaoke machines.
yeah.
We get sent all this
Yes.
stuff. So we just got the tail end of that, and then it finished by the time Sean got here, which was hilarious.
Yes.
What was TV like back in the day? Was
Were
it
there
just
perks?
Well, there was a time, particularly when Christopher Skase, the ill-fated Christopher
course.
Skase, owned the network, when we were all flown to a massive big show at the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we all flew to Sydney, and then we all flew up from Sydney to the Gold Coast, and we all joked and said, if you want to take out the Seven Network,
This is it.
just take this plane
This
out.
one plane.
Because everybody was on that
If only
plane.
they knew back then what was happening today with the ratings.
And I had to laugh at that time too, because there was Sandy Roberts and a few of the Melbourne sports people who didn't really know what Christopher Skase looked like. So I've rolled up there with Sue, and they're very polite to me. I thought that's been nice, and they said,
they thought you were Christopher
Christopher Skase.
Because you do. You have that.
You
have
give
that.
off shonky millionaire vibes.
But
I don't know
also,
about
don't
that.
you think he gives off the flight centre pilot?
A little bit. That's amazing. And of course, you won way back when. There used to be a logie given out
WA.
for each
WA,
state had a
yeah.
logie. How many of those you picked
Oh,
up?
Rick's got a million
of them. Yeah.
Where are they?
Well, they're
How many have you
sitting
got?
at home somewhere. I guess I've got 10. Sue's got a few too. But quite frankly, I think in the old
Wow,
days
isn't it?
it was like 20 grannies filling in.
Department used to fill out all the forms.
I think it's 20 grannies filling in TV weeks at home, and that was probably good enough to win for WA.
I just used his name in a crossword on that flight.
That's
Unbelievable.
amazing.
People are going to see a special on you guys, which is going to be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious because of the fact that it's what is it, 4 decades of fashion. 4 decades of
yeah,
fashion.
sure.
I mean, you
Shoulder
don't notice it
pads.
so much with Rick's
But
outfit. A
Sue,
suit is a
mate.
suit. But Sue, you've been through it.
Dallas
Oh my
and
God.
Dynasty have called and they want their outfits back. It was like there was not one natural material on your body, and your hair, which seemed to
It's
be
been
a
through some stuff.
spiral permed mohawk situation, was
It was huge.
it was higher the hair, closer to God. They say
Absolutely.
yeah,
And wider too.
Yeah. How do you-
Natural curl, or was that...
Perms.
Yeah,
In the day of
back in the day.
perms.
Perms are back. My hairdresser told me this. Perms are back, but
no.
only for men. He said everyone getting a perm at his hairdresser is a man. Yeah, the guys are getting the curls on top.
What's one of the descriptive words? They're gay. And
No,
not a man?
no, it's not
that's
gay.
great.
It's straight
Just
men.
straight men
Straight
want
men getting
curls.
perms.
Curls get the girls.
Yeah, so they say.
Isn't that right, Rick?
We do have the king and queen of Perth, Rick and Sue, with us. They're celebrating their 40th anniversary, and 7 News Perth are going to present a half-hour television special on Wednesday, the 26th of Feb at 7 o'clock. Viewers can also share their memories with Rick and Sue via 7news.com.au.
That special you do not want to miss. They've got some exclusive footage, I hear, of the one night that Rick and Sue spent together. And you know what? It's tender. It's nice.
How do you know it was only one night?
What? And how do you know it was only us two?
Fond memories, Sue?
So, okay.
I'm in a state of disbelief.
You see, when we started work
What,
together,
that we found the footage, or...?
when Sean first joined, we just got it out of the way.
Yeah.
We all just
nothing
did it,
really.
got it out of the way.
But you
and-
guys built up to it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah, when Sue was like doing this row of papers,
it
at the
was-
end she dropped them suddenly, and then she
It
went
was last
down.
night, wasn't it?
How many people have thought you were married though?
Oh, quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband reckons that when we're out together, people look twice at him and go, "Oh, it's not Rick."
And that's the thing, though, because think about it. You're both got beautiful partners, and,
absolutely.
and in your lives, your partner's name and your name. But
Yep.
publicly, you're Rick and Sue. That must be weird for your partners. Was it an adjustment for them, or they just now lived with it
They've
for
sort
so
of
long?
grown up with it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, both of them, we met both of our partners after we'd started reading together.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were like after a celebrity.
Yeah.
There you go. Someone got, isn't that great? It's not just dating this wonderful girl. I got Susanna Carr.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got to state the exact opposite for my wife.
And my husband too.
Yeah.
So how about your kids? How are they growing up with you two being actually Australia-wide famous? Because that must be a lot.
Oh, yeah, it was hard for my older daughter. She started as a journo too, and she copped the Rick's daughter. She's in
nepotism.
communications. My younger
baby.
daughter's a lawyer, and she's getting married this weekend down south. We're looking forward to it. So she's got some relatives coming over. Now, as we were discussing off air, Nathan, we're taking the relatives to karaoke in Dunsborough at the Harbour on a Thursday night.
Sean has told us about your fine work down at the Harbour, I must say.
Ah, yeah, it's great.
Well, you don't sing, you
We should buy him
perform.
his own karaoke machine.
Don't
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah. Don't you have one?
But then again, I think maybe, we've got the people that are making the Rick and Sue special. Don't you think Rick Arden should sing a song?
No,
on it?
absolutely not.
Oh, Rick, yeah.
No, but I have to wait till people have had a bit to drink so they don't notice being off key so much.
Well, our listeners drink to listen to this show, so it's fine.
You are going to be
Since last
performing
night.
in the Songbook of Love for us, though. You've laid down some tracks that will be revealed
Oh, yes,
during
one
the
involves
week.
Nathan. So I hope
gee.
people, before they get what the songs are, they can actually hear the lyrics about Nathan.
Okay, great.
So I want to know, have you ever either accidentally swore? Because we have done it many times.
No,
Not-
not on
not
air,
like-
certainly not.
What about laughing? Because every now and then you see a news anchor
it's
when
hard
there's
at
some
times.
ridiculous story and they
Yeah.
get a bit of a fit of the giggles. Has it happened?
Gone close, but not quite.
You tend to sort of hold on to it till the package is rolling, and then you
Yes.
can fall
What about the
apart if
tickle in the
there's
throat?
Oh,
Yeah.
That was the night they
the
spent
worst.
together.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse, and you can feel it building, and you
Yeah,
can't
you
do
can.
anything when you don't want to cough.
and I think that's the good thing about having two of us
Yes.
there too,
Yeah.
because you hear someone's voice. If I hear Rick's
Yeah.
voice
Yes.
just faltering, or he hears mine, you sort of
You know to take
ready
over.
Take over, yeah.
Oh yeah, because for us we can laugh about
Yes.
it, but you guys can't. You know?
No.
And I think maybe it was you one time, Rick. We played the audio. Your voice completely went, but
Yeah.
you kept on going, and you have to
Yeah.
be serious.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Instead of
crazy.
going, excuse me.
Because
yeah.
your voice is always going to do it in the most serious story,
Oh.
isn't it? It's about some horrible
Yes.
disaster
Yeah.
somewhere. It's never in a light-hearted, squirrel water skiing video,
Yeah,
is it?
that's
No.
right.
Hey, I want to know about technology, because the last time we filmed something with you guys was an ad that we did where we were being newscasters.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
It
It was easy. We found it really easy being a newsreader.
I hadn't been in the studios for a while, and it's the first time I experienced the robotic camera
Yes.
situation.
Oh.
So no cameramen.
Basically, you're all thinking that the news is the way you think it is. So you think that there is a whole ton of people in that room. No, there's no one in that room anymore except for one person sitting over there, and the cameras are automatically controlled. So like robots
Yeah.
that move in and
And
out.
sometimes they crash into each other.
Do they?
Yes.
Do they?
And in early
And you
days,
can't even laugh at that.
no, but in earlier days we had one that just kept coming and coming and coming straight in your face.
It's like you're being
Trying to
attacked
lean
by a
back.
Dalek.
Because that to me was confronting, and it really threw me, because I was like,
Yeah.
how do you be so personable in a
Oh, you just
room
have
of
to.
nothing?
Yeah.
But
No
was that an
floor
adjustment?
managers, nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Was
No,
it-
no,
It
no.
used to be so much more fun in the studio when you had cameramen and
Yes.
floor
It
managers. You really had someone to relate to. It really is quite sterile in there now.
Yeah.
It's insane, but you guys are so warm, and there's just a
Yeah.
green screen. But people really should see the starkness of what you guys are working in,
Yeah.
to what's being delivered on the news.
You don't notice though, because you're presenting the news, you're live, you're flying by the seat of your pants sometimes, and so it's a serious business presenting the news to people. So
Yes.
whatever else happens on the periphery, you don't really notice.
And the lens of
Such
the camera is
professionals.
just like a window to this, and someone else is on the other side, and that's who you direct
Yeah,
the whole
exactly
thing
right.
to.
Yeah.
I'm
Just like
directing
we're
it to
talking
you
now,
or
yeah.
Nat or
Yeah.
anybody that anybody at home sitting watching. That's who you're talking to.
This
Tell
is
you what,
why you're the best.
Everybody loves you. Everybody in the industry loves you. You guys are so warm. You've been really, really lovely to us the entire time. I remember
love
the most
coming here.
exciting thing for me ever was the first time you knew who I was, because it was
When you know
huge.
you've made it
And
in
whispering
Perth.
in your ear too.
Oh yeah, when you were here, but that was the night we all spent together. So.
When you weren't saying his name because he was being carted off to prison. That's nice. That's really nice.
No, Rick was like, "Wake up, Nathan, you got to go to work."
Celebrating 40 magical years and many more to come. There's no sign of you guys retiring.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, so if you want to
stick
be an
around.
anchor person for Channel 7 in Perth, go somewhere else.
That's right. We can see that special on the 26th of Feb at 7 o'clock on Channel 7. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
It's great.
Enjoy.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.